All right, everyone, welcome back to the Red.Beard Outdoors podcast. I'm Jonathan, your host, and today we've got an outstanding guest. We've got Joe Higginbotham. He is a fantastic dude. Honestly, we met in the Elkwoods for the first time. Before that, even, he was so generous and provide. Now, don't go and message him, guys. He's not going to give you this stuff. He just likes me as a ginger. But he helped us out a lot with scouting for elk when we went out for the first Phorm Outdoors hunt last year, where we got a group of guys together, Jake, me, Dale, AJ, and a few other guys together that came out and went on the hunt. And this guy right here honestly provided tons of data and allowed us to get off on the right foot. Not to mention, he chose to smoke the Eastern guys the first day that he was out there. So don't let those white, wispies right here fool you. This guy is a beast. And even since then, he stepped up his training even more and is crushing it, and has since joined the Legionnaire program with First Phorm, and is now all in on First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors just from that. I don't know why, after hanging out with us for a week, but apparently he's some kind of masochist and enjoys pain and being picked on and picking on other people too. So either way, all of that to be said, Joe's a great dude. For people that don't know who you are, though, Joe, who are you, man?
Like I said, I'm Joe Higginbotham. I'm lucky enough to be living in Western Colorado and get to hunt the Western states, and just a passion for the outdoors. Quick biography: I retired from the military after 24 years, most of it there at Fort Bragg, or whatever they're calling it nowadays, right outside your neighborhood there, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
And retired, came out here and got to spend more time in the Elkwoods. I do run a small nonprofit, Rover Regional Outreach Veteran Engagement Resources. Rover.vet is the website. It's under construction right now, but we do have a Facebook page and Instagram, Rover for Vets, with the number 4. Take a lot of veterans outdoors, get them off the couch and out of the house, as our saying is. We've taken guys that are bilateral not paraplegics, but they're paralyzed basically vertically instead of horizontally, and they thought they never would be able to kill a deer or be out and about doing things. Take guys on canoe trips or kayaking trips. Just get them outdoors, because there's something about the outdoors that really is just good for your soul. And then the great thing is every one of those veterans has improved their life since that trip. So in some capacity. So that's me in a nutshell. Just, I guess I am kind of a sadist I don't know. Jake handed me some papers and told me to sign them in the mountains when I was sweating. And then the next thing I know, I had a Legionnaire account, and he's like, go forth. I'm like, where are we going? I'm going back to the truck. I don't know where you're going. I'm going back to where the elk are, where the contour lines are a little further apart. So, and then here we are, and then I give it another hunt. Just somebody on the other side of this is, hey, I got a BBD, and I'm going, I don't think this is the right guy. You're going to need to be calling about that. So, come to find out, get to pack out your elk, and that was just an amazing trip. It was an amazing time.
Huh? One trip wonder.
We did it. And my chiropractor will never be the same.
I was wondering if you got any shorter or how that happened.
For a while, I think I was like 5'7" instead of 5'10". It's taken a while.
Compressed discs.
And these old bones to stretch all that back out, and then now on top of all the other injuries I've got, and it's just like, well, roll your sleeves up, Hoss. That's why you get paid the good money. We're going to put you to work today. There's no just like simple adjustments. So it's a good laugh. You learn things. You learn, I've often been told you can do more than you think you can. And if you go, one of the guys over in Salt Lake in your area, Mark Twite, the mind is primary. Bite off more you can chew, deal with the tiger at the other end of the tail, or the indigestion, your pick. So sometimes I'm too stupid to know where the end should be. So anyway.
Yeah. No,
Thank you, Jonathan.
I love it, man. It's, honestly, guys, Joe, the fact that, and I even asked Joe this, and I think, because you were on the podcast before, not part of the Why First Phorm Outdoors, but we talked about this in our episode where I flat out asked you, I was like, it's a little sketchy that someone is so willing to give up so much information. And I think I asked you that the first time we talked. I was like, I don't know this guy, and I'm driving, quite a few hours away from home to go on this hunt. I need to know this is solid, and he's not being one of those guys that's going to ditch us last minute and just provided all this fake news. And the fact that that's not, I mean, come and get to know him later. It's not at all what he's like. And he was, Joe's just a fantastic guy. So again, don't ask him for all your elk spots and all that stuff, guys. He's not going to give it to you. He's only giving that to us, me, because he likes me. But in reality though, I mean, even to the point where Jake's got a tag and Joe went up, drove an hour and a half, 2 hours away to go and oh geez, even more. So again, speaking to who Joe is here, he went out 4 hours away to go scout this area that Jake is going to be elk hunting in later this season. And so, again, all of that to be said, just an amazing guy, and we love having him as part of the team. Such a good dude, and even though he might have some grays, he is wise but also young at heart, and can definitely fit in with the best of us, and definitely throws a lot of shade as we throw shade over him. So that's just kind of how it goes. But with that being said, so Joe was in the military. Did a lot of cool things in the military. He was very active duty out there in Fort Bragg, and did a lot that that he accomplished in the military. Then he retired, came out west, and fell in love with the western states. Now, with that, what would you say? Why did you choose Colorado to be your resting place?
Well, my uncle came out here in '80, and then my father, when he retired from international paper, he moved out here finally, built a house, and I was always transiting back and forth in between deployments and training rotations and such, and man, just fell in love with it. Number one, you being from the East Coast, being right there in Fayetteville, the humidity. You take a shower, you dry off, and then you're wet again. So
Mm-hmm.
the first thing I noticed is it's really dry out here. But then, yeah, fell in love with this place. You've got elk. We've got, for a kid that grew up in the outdoors, we've got elk, moose, tons of bears. Did I say deer? Mule deer on the other side of the state. There's whitetails, pronghorn. I was just out looking for pronghorn yesterday. Just so many things here, and it's such an outdoorsy state. I mean, you've got something all year round, and we don't have hurricanes, not a lot of mosquitoes, low humidity, like I said. And then the western side of the state's a lot. It's not Denver. That's a complete statement. And to further answer the question, why Colorado? As I retired, my father had multiple strokes, and it put him down pretty hard. And so we had to take care of him. And as soon as I retired, my uncle's like, "Hey, I need help out here with your dad." And I said, "Well, I'm already packing my stuff, so I'll be there in a couple months. I got to get off some property and finalize things here, and I'll be out there." And I came out here, and I haven't looked back.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, honestly, Colorado, I think it still holds its place as number one most active state in the lower 48, or maybe even all 50 states. There's a lot of people, and even when I went out there for hunting, like, you see people running, you see people biking, you see people doing things non-motorized, but with their bodies, working out, like all of that stuff everywhere. And so, that's also a great community to be a part of, because even if you may not go to their gym or even know that person in particular or those people in your community, it still rubs off on you. And it's like, man, like, this is a lot easier to be. Now you're not the weird guy that's out running, or the weird guy that's working out in his garage with the door open, or you're not that person, right? Which is not bad to be that person, but it breaks down that barrier a little bit more too, of that active lifestyle that you can live out there in Colorado. So yeah, and it's a great state. It really is. There's a couple of urban areas that maybe not so much, but I think that's pretty much any state. once you get out of the urban areas, there's a lot of opportunities to be able to enjoy the wildlife and get outdoors. So with that, you came on the hunt with us, and then you got into the Legionnaire program, and you're realizing there's a lot of education in that as well. But I guess more so than that, go ahead and give us your top 3 reasons why you've chosen First Phorm Outdoors, just like you chose Colorado. You've chosen First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors, more specifically that branch of the company, to be a part of and to go all in with, rather than any of these other supplement brands that are out there. Why First Phorm?
Wow. 3. Number one reason and thing I would say about First Phorm, and I have worked with some other companies out there,
Wait, I know it's the
is
cherry lime energy drink. That's what got you.
is definitely not the cherry lime energy drink, for sure. That is definitely not why at all. If anything, I think that's my 2-week notice right there. It's definitely not an ad for some orange sunrise. So
That's the best one.
I think it is. So really the company, so First Phorm, I look at and what I see is First Phorm is more than just a company. It's a community. It's a community that's actually not just the outdoor space, but there's different nuances within the company, and they're all impacting directly and helping people have better lives. And it sounds kind of cliche, but really, you look at First Phorm headquarters, it's just really a hub to kind of go to and kind of bounce some things off, get back on track, and then go back out into community. And what I see as a company, as opposed to some of these others, is you were kind of bringing that light to your little piece of the community, and there's a slow glowing effect that's happening because of this company. It's more of a community than it is a company to me, and what I've seen. And I like that aspect. Again, working for other companies, there was no education. It was, well, here's a little bit about the product. A little bit, and then push it. And that was, what am I pushing it for? And now I understand you're solving problems. You solve problems, and then the products will come behind them. Not shove a product at somebody and they don't need it, or they're allergic to it, or they have issues. Why are you having this issue? We don't care. Just keep pushing it. Yeah. Tell them just get over it, kind of thing. The outdoors community, well, I think number one would definitely be because I'm an outdoors kid. I just was doing a thing for a video yesterday or day before, and I realized, man, I've been playing in the woods and eating dirt. I think I did my first math problems, all the way through high school with a stick and dirt, out in the playground. It seems like I've just always been outdoors. And so the second thing is the people on the outdoor team. You and I've shared with you some of the places around Fort Bragg, and then the capital region I've worked with. I've worked with essentially some apex predators. I haven't had that. I haven't had my people really since leaving. And then, for me, I started a retirement process 2 years before I actually said officially goodbye. So I had several years of just kind of trying to find my people. Where's my village? And it just kind of clicked on a mountain. It's like, these are the people I want to hang out with. These are some cool cats right here. They try not to give too much away from the film, but it's like, these are some cool dudes. We can talk trash to each other, but everybody's just a fire breathing warrior up there in all aspects, and they're worried. And nobody was worried about the other person's or someone being more successful than they are. It was all about, everybody. When we had an opportunity at an elk, I thought they're going to throw down on who was going to get to shoot the elk, because it's like, no, you do it. No, you do it. I'm not sure if they're concerned about, they don't want to be the one to miss, but it was all about the other person's success. And like I said, I haven't seen that in a long time, is the sacrifice and the selflessness of it.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. Even when I was making such a racket and calling in that calling in the elk with my tin can. Oh man, I think I've told this before, but just going up there, of course, guys. I even talk about this, but I think I picked up the stove kind of later, just before season, and didn't have time to actually set it up ahead of time. I knew how it worked. I had watched a video on it, but of course, in the video they don't talk about how loud it is. And so, rolling up that stove pipe for the first time, if anyone's ever tried to mess with sheet metal and roll it into a tube, um, yeah, it's a mess. And so, uh, but yeah, even then, no one got pissed enough to throw me off the mountain. So, but yeah, no, we had, when we had that opportunity at a bull that, I can't wait for that film to come out. But I remember Joe saying, "Man, I turned around and there's like four guys with bows and all set up, and I didn't know who was going to get to shoot." And we were really all just like, whoever gets the best shot. Like it really, it was all. And then we were all together through the entire thing and celebrated the wins and the losses and everything else. And then even when everyone else left and I ended up getting the bull, like texting everybody, they were all super stoked for it. And to the point where, again, Joe drove out an hour and a half, ditched a date for me. She probably isn't listening. Not that it matters, but he ditched a
Not
date
that
for
one.
me, and right, and drove all the way back out to help me pack out this bull, because either way I was going to pack it out by myself. But the fact that he helped with that, because I definitely could not have done it in one load by myself. And so it was an awesome time. But no, I couldn't agree with you more, guys. If you are in the military, which I'm not in the military, I guess some people, I give off that vibe sometimes because I grew up in a military family and I have some mannerisms, and I hang out with a lot of people that are in the military or ex-police. And so that's just kind of the people I enjoy hanging out with. But it's a different group of people. And then you get in even more so into the special forces guys that are even more tight knit than the Army itself. It's a whole different group of individuals. And so when you've earned that spot, that again, the special forces, or if you're, SWAT team, or the more specialized units of our military and police forces, you're even more tight knit. And so that's what Joe's talking about. For those of you in the military, you understand that, feeling a little lost getting out of there and trying to find another brotherhood to be a part of, feeling left behind when they're continuing in the military and you've moved on to a different career, things like that. It can be hard. And also, if you move to a different state, maybe you weren't in the military, but you moved to a different state, you don't have friends. Maybe you're the weirdo that's in a area that they're not very active people and you are, and now you're the weird one. All of those things, you're trying to find your tribe. What Joe's talking about there is just that first Phorm Outdoors, you'll find someone, especially if you join the Facebook group, you'll find someone in your area, or someone that you can maybe take your family to go camping with, or go hiking with, or work out with. It's an amazing community. We've got over 6,000 members strong and counting. You'll find someone there. So that's awesome. So community's number one. Cherry Lime, I thought would be your number one, but apparently not. So what's your number two there?
Well, I said so. Well, the community was number two. So community was number one. Number two was just further that community, bring it down, and then it's more than just a company. It's really, other than needing to keep the lights on there and keep things moving. I mean, first one would exist without the products.
Yeah,
it's such a bunch of fire-breathing dragons every single day of just like, wow, it makes you question every day. Like, am I doing enough? Am I trying hard enough? It's almost like being on a team again, of like you're doing selection every single day, kind of thing. And it's not to, to intimidate somebody who's interested in the company or the outdoors group. We all have our starting point, and we all have something to contribute, no matter what it is. It's just, man, I mean, if you're not fired up, you're going to get fired up real quick being around everybody. Like you said about the weirdo with the garage door open, you may be the only one on your block. It's okay. It's okay to do that. The other thing is, the the hard work, the integrity piece. I mean, so many of us have done like 75 hard. And I almost say that if I was starting a company or in the HR department or had influence in a company, I don't care what it is. It should be a requirement to do 75 hard. It is not a challenge. It's not a physicality thing. It's all up here. Hey, I'm going to stay here to get this thing. I have 5 tasks to do. I'm going to get those done before the end of the day, before I go home. Those are people that are going to be successful with your company and drive your company to the next, what they say, the next level.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what number 3 would be, man. I kind of encapsulate 2 big ones now. I feel like the third one's just going to be just, I don't know. I don't even know what that would be. Be packing up and coming off that mountain.
That was the original third option.
Cherry limeade. Cherry lime. Yes. Not an ad.
I keep joking about that because we had Tristan up there with us hunting as well, and Tristan's a really young kid, and he was doing the young guy thing where he had to be against everything, right? So we were all saying our favorite flavors. It was mainly orange and blue raz, and then and he's like, well, cherry lime's the best. And of course, anyone that's listened to Andy's like, the guy that developed cherry lime needs to be fired. I think he said that in one podcast. And like, it just, it's really not an awful flavor, guys, but it's definitely low on the totem pole. So but the joke is that's the like, you let that expire in your fridge if you end up with any of it. So like, just but so community, the company, and the products, obviously. So the products, again, just kind of hitting on that, and something I like to bring up anytime people talk about the products, because we don't talk about it enough, because we don't base our products on the fact that you can return them if you don't like them, because we want you to like them, obviously. But if you genuinely are trying a new flavor or trying something that is different, or maybe you want to try, I don't know, just something different or new, go and try it. And there's 110% money back guarantee on our products. Obviously, it's not leave it in your pantry for a year and then try and return it. There are some stipulations to that. So get it, try it. If you don't like it, you can return it with that guarantee, because we either want you to use the product, or if you don't like it, return it and swap it for something that you will use. Because it's not just about selling in bulk, selling as much as we can, getting it out there, discount, because we don't even do that. We don't discount the products, even on our sales. We just add things to the bundle. We don't discount our products.
Yeah.
And so it's because we know the quality's there. And there's a lot of people that I know, me personally, if you lifted through high school or any of that, you went on the other whey proteins that gave you the bubble guts, and if you drank too many of them, no one wanted to be around you, that kind of deal. And you don't get that with First Phorm. You really don't. It's just high quality, low temperature processed protein, and of course you got that 110% money back guarantee. So we wouldn't do that if we didn't believe in the products, right? So with that, what would be a good number 3 for you there?
That was actually going to be number, as I thought of, I was like, that's a good way of just hinting me that I got 14 concussions up here. So, the products kind of sell themselves.
Colorado on the mountain with us.
Yeah. I got hung on cherry limeade, and so.
And it wasn't us giving him concussions. It was him beating his head against his hand, wondering he's with us.
Why did I do this with these guys? Why did I do this?
Maybe one of them came from the trekking pole from Jake. Maybe that was.
Well, I didn't want to bring up the fact that sometimes you got to cheat to win, or stab your opponent, your much elder opponent, with a tube to keep him so he doesn't win a race. So I guess if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But yeah, so products. Like you said, Jonathan, cold temperature processed. I've tried just about everything. Being where I was for 15 years of a 24-year career, we had things thrown at us. We would buy stuff, buy this, whatever I was at an organization. It was pretty much, here's your wish list every month. It went and got bought, and I've tried them all. And yeah, whey was always an issue with me because of stomach issues, and then. The products, having tried just about every major company out there, I'm almost 50 years old, and I can tell you I have more striations and more thickness to muscle. I've got better return on results using the products, not just using the products, also like the app, using the training that's afforded to you on the app, using your coach. I've got Terry as my coach. I love Terry. As a matter of fact, I have Terry almost ink to paper saying he's going to come out here next year and at least experience an elk hunt just with myself and or like you or someone else, just to experience it. He's like, that's not my wheelhouse. I said, well, it's time to get out of your comfort zone. You're making me get out of my comfort zone and make me track all these macros, then let's do it. And yeah, so the products, and that I encapsulate all that in a product of product and services that you don't get anywhere else. Yep. By bar none, I tell everybody, try the app. Try it for 30 days. Yes. So products and services. I was on a trip with 4 of us from an organization, and we do an annual men's retreat out to Tennessee on a houseboat. And part of that is, of course, a lot of jaw jacking and partying. I'm the youngest guy there. I ate a whole lot of partying past 9 o'clock, but we party hardy till then. But then we also talk about what's cooking below the surface level, where the places we don't tell everybody else, like their spouses or some of their friends. And guys like, what are you doing different? I was like, I'm not actually doing much different, except for I'm using these products, I'm using these modalities, and it's working. Like I was a gym head for years. We had to be fit. Things like Mark Twight, I mentioned him earlier, Jim Jones, when he was there over in Salt Lake and Park City, he came out, had a contract with us. We thought our fitness was good. And guys are, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try that. I said, wait, before you do that, try the app. They're like, what? I said, it's like no macro counter, no app you've ever had before. It's what, $12 a month? I said, if you don't like it in 30 days, I said, the number one thing it's going to do for you, besides getting a real life coach and access to all these other things you're going to pay $100 an hour for, is you're going to see where the holes in the boat are. You write everything that goes in your mouth on a daily basis for even 2 weeks. You'll see where you're at for your 3 macros. And once you do that, make some changes to your diet, then we'll talk about products. Because the supplement is that it's a supplement, not to be your primary source of food. So unlike some guys I know that are, I think they have an IV drip of Project 1 and Level 1 and Formula 1, depending on the time of day it's coming in, all day long. But it's products and services for the company. That just is bar none. I mean, some of the same companies I'm talking about. You don't get that. It's just about making money, and then being out there in the community saying, look at what we're doing, but you're not changing lives. You're really not changing anything except for revenue stream. That's it. Yeah. And the products are just phenomenal. I've never seen products more clean. I challenge people. It's like, here, I'll throw this at you. Try it. Try it for 30 days instead of what you got. Tell me what the results are. Be honest with me. Oh, man. Dude, that is so much better. It mixes easy. I've never had a clump in anything. And how they keep the scoop on top of the jug, when you open it, I have no idea how that magic works. And I have no idea how the magic works in root beer float. When you shake it up, and it has a head of foam at the top. I don't like a real root beer that you would get at like, like a Barks or an A&W. I have no idea how this foam is on there on top, but it's really authentic. And then the other thing is with those products, they make them so any flavor will mix with anything except for cherry limeade. Is you can literally like throw key lime pie and root beer float together and it will taste good. So. Yeah. Third is products and services.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. That's those are all. I mean, those are three great examples. I know there's many more. That's why I keep them to three. Your top three there. But with that, guys, I highly recommend you go and check out the things that Joe's talked about here. Again, if you're not in the St. Louis area, which is where First Phorm is based out of, that's fine. You can still find an amazing community on the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. If you don't have a Facebook, it's worth creating a Facebook account just to get into the group. That's really all the reason why you would use your Facebook, is to get into that group. It's a ton of people. It's not just about hunting, archery, fishing. If you like mountain biking, if you like camping, if you like hiking, go and check out this group and find your people, because community is huge. Even if, and this is the pro of social media, you can connect with people. Like, I would have never met Joe and Jake probably would have never met. All of the, I would have never met Jake and AJ and Dale and Joe and everyone else that I got to go on this elk hunt with last year. And I would have killed my first bull out in Colorado. Like, so many good things have come from social media, just connecting that way. And the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group is one of those reasons why to have social media, have Facebook. You don't need to don't doom scroll or any of that mess. Just go in and be a part of the community.
And we
And then,
keep
of
it, and
course,
there's no negativity in that group.
yeah,
If you're negative or you're jumping in somebody, you're gone. No questions asked. You're out of here.
exactly. No spam, no negativity, no trying to sell you stuff. It's genuine. It's a great community. And then, of course, the products. I mean, you hit on customer service as well. The products are there. It's hard to find a great community of individuals that back up their products, that the products are good and not just being sold to you. And then on top of that, you have the customer service based in St. Louis in the US. And there have been people that will call customer service and ask what the best pizza place in St. Louis is, or they've asked them, what's the best spark plug for XYZ model of truck, whatever. And they'll go, and they're not the experts on everything, but they'll go and make an effort, and they'll let you know. So all of that to be said, this is an amazing community, great supplements, great customer service, and I couldn't agree with you more on your top three there, Joe. So with
Thank
that
you.
being said, where can people find you, Joe, if they want to reach out to you? And again, don't ask for all the elk points, guys.
Let's hold on. If you're a non-resident, I will help you more than I will a resident, because you're not going to hunt this all the time. You may hunt some of our units. You'll hunt it one time in your lifetime, and that's going to be it. And I'd rather you be successful, or try to help you be successful, than to be stingy with it, and then you burn 14 points that you've waited all this time to get because you didn't know that was a fire a year ago or something. And no, I won't tell you where all my little holes are, but they're out there. So where you can find me, mostly Instagram at MacLance74. It's a long story of how the MacLance came to be, and then some of the other profiles, but yeah, at MacLance74 is where you can find me. Hit me up. It's like, hey, if I'm coming to Colorado, I'm going to Wyoming. I wouldn't know about this spot had it not been for a resident there who's been in the outdoor industry for 40 years. He's like, he taught me that. Help the non-residents. They pay big money, so you don't have to. And they only get to do it every once in a while, and they spend a lot of money in the economy, so help them out. So
I love it.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, guys, I'll leave that link down below, along with getting into the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group, and where you can get the app, where you can get any of the supplements that we've talked about today, or your favorite cherry lime energy drink. We'll leave all of that down below. Thanks so much for tuning in, and Joe, thanks so much for your time today. I really appreciate it, man. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and of course, guys, get out, live your life, and love it.